This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
We are joined by Mark Anthony Thomas. So excited to have our personal development coach here and leadership coach at, we can say, WUAKSA today, which is Wake Up and Kick Some Ass. Hailing from beautiful Meridian, Mississippi. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I am doing well, Jill. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I love your positivity, your outlook, and I know we're going to break down, about the past and really how it can affect people. And I'm excited that you're here, excited to get to know you. And I think it's important to start with you before we get to, what you do. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and thank you for your service. I know you're retired from the United States Air Force. So give us a little bit of your background, please.
Well, thank you. So, I'm from Meridian, Mississippi. Joined the Air Force right out of high school, and it was one of those things where I had to join. I had to leave. It's either that or get in trouble. And so I had a really wonderful career in the military. I got married. All my three boys were born in the military, and they're grown now, and they're all off. I have three boys, one grandson, and
Congratulations.
married. Thank you. I've been married 43 years, and which is that's a long time, and it takes work. I can assure you, it takes work. But I came back home after retirement. My mom and dad were getting older, and my sisters and brothers were gone, so I felt obligated to come back and be here. But now they've my mom just recently passed my father several years ago, so I don't know. I'm here and trying to figure it out again, and
Wow.
I usually thought that as I got older,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 66 now, and
Oh,
and I look back a few years ago. I look back on my life, and I ask myself, what have I done?
mm-hmm.
And I know you mentioned the past, and
Yeah.
I was one person who allowed the past to just shroud me in negativity, and growing up, and it's not a sad story. It's a story that affects so many people we don't know. But growing up, I was adopted, and which was great. But being adopted in the '60s, in the South, I was lucky that I wasn't terminated. And I hate to use that term, but but I was adopted. But you know, being adopted in a I don't know how they say it. In some cultures, they don't accept adoption as
Yeah.
that you're not, that's not your. Why would you want to take home someone else's problems? And so you go through the emotional side of really not feeling love. You can know something's there, but it's I don't know. You can't put your finger up because you're a kid. You're just trying to fit in. There are certain things that happen at home and with your teachers, people that you respected. They make it where you don't fit in. And so you always feel awkward. And the first few years of military service was very difficult for me because I felt different, and actually, it took a while. It took a while. I'm not sure the universe or God or whoever,
Yeah.
that's for. And I started finding out who I was. And I'm not a comedian by any stretch of the imagination, but I do
Yeah.
have a way of making people laugh, and that was kind of the door.
Oh, are you there? Oh, Mark Anthony, you just froze a little bit. I'm so
To
sorry. Hold on. Could you repeat what you just said? You froze it a little bit. The last thing you just said, could you repeat it, please? All right. It seems we're having a
Oh,
little.
okay,
There you go. There you go.
good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Comedy really good, but it was just in high school. My guidance counselor, she asked
Mm-hmm.
me what did I want to do when I graduated high school. I was
Yeah.
awkward kid, I said I want to go to Mississippi State, and she
Mm-hmm.
looked at me and she said, "You're not smart enough to go to Mississippi State,"
Mm.
and with me for so long. Now I've gone to school. Right now, I'm going to Mississippi State right now, and I jokingly tell people I hope that she turns it over in her grave. I don't mean that in a negative way. It's like I can do it. I can do
Yeah.
anything I want, even though if I'm 66 or 76, I can do anything I want. So reflection, and I decided, you know what, I need to make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a, a in the Bible, in the book of James, and I'm not preaching or anything, but it talks about a man who looks in the mirror and he sees himself and he steps away and walks off and forgot what he saw. But I'm paraphrasing a bit, and so I'm the and saw who I was completely, and I stepped back and I decided I got to make some changes.
Yeah.
And thus my the name of my company
Yeah. I was going to ask
it's
how you got the
really
name of that.
the
Yes. Yes.
wake up and kick some ass. You finally you wake up from that stupor, if
Mm-hmm.
you and start doing things. Now challenges and obstacles and all those things, and you allow them to hold you down. It's going to take micro actions, little micro goals every day consistently. Someone said that if you do 1% every day, I read it somewhere, percent every day of the year, 365. That's 365%. Now, if you're in the market, the financial market, 365%
Yeah.
investment. That's huge. That's yeah, so that's how I look at I look at things like that, real simplistic. And so it has evolved. My journey has evolved like this, a podcast.
Well, Mark Anthony, I'm
As such a stellar rep, I looked at your background. Now you're very professional,
I'm
and
versatile.
that
I've had a lot of this, that, that, but I'm the most important title is I'm a mom. And I know you mentioned your kids and your grandkids, so it's like, that's what you look at to be most proud of, right? It's not my education, it's not my where I've worked, what I've done. It's our family. And that's what I love about you and love in most people. Some people focus on career, 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 and so thank you for commending me on that, Mark. I'm very proud of my work, my babies most and foremost.
Yes, ma'am. Good. So you're welcome. You're welcome. But talk about the past, and like I said, life can get messy. There's a lot of things filled with difficulties and obstacles, but sometimes people are they want to go further, but they feel like they can't because of their past. They let the past just hold them down. And the past was meant for us to learn from the past. It was never meant to imprison us. And so many people allow the past to imprison us. And I want to use that in the next few weeks. I will be volunteering for a prison ministry,
Oh, wow.
and first time I went, I'd never been in prison, um, never been incarcerated, but I've never been inside one. But when I went in, it was heartbreaking. You see people, um, the age range from 19 to 62, 63 years old, and I thought how blessed I am that you know that I'm here now. I have a chance to maybe influence maybe one person's life. If I can just do that, I know I'm not going to influence an entire population, but if I can influence one person's life, and they get out and they can change, because change is possible even in the most dire situations like a prison. I know that they can change. And that's what I ask. I ask God um, for guidance in that, so I can help one person. And so I don't want to get too religious here, but I do believe that we'll be judged on people that we help. And I help one or two people, and I see their good. Once I help them and they move on and they do well, I will never know what they did.
Yeah.
But on that day, I will actually see the people that they helped, and it was because of me. So that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, the past can definitely, um, if you let it, hold you down, you will not enjoy what life has to offer. And we all, from the time that we were born, we
Yeah.
were born to succeed. And I don't think I was never told that when I
I
was.
was I was going to ask you about your childhood. Yeah, well, how did that affect you? Tell me about your upbringing and, unfortunately what we've learned, we didn't learn as a child, but it made us, you
you
know.
know, it, you know, when you don't get me wrong, I had a roof over my head. I had that clothing. I had all that. But sometimes the heart and the soul needs something more, to to um, encourage. I didn't get a lot of encouragement.
Yeah.
Like I said, I attribute a lot of it to being adopted. And you're not really, you're my son, but you're not my son. That's how I felt. You know. Uh, but if you don't get encouragement, if you don't get that nurturing, that nurturing that kids really, really need, you grow up missing that. And I'm not a statistician, and I don't have all the data on it. But there are men my age still who suffer from that. They won't tell you, and they'll and you see them, and they seem pretty. They seem maybe happy. They seem successful. I'm sure there are things that they want to do more, but deep down inside, so many people are still suffering from things that happened when they were kids, and they can't seem to shake it, and it affects them. Um, One thing that has helped me along the way, and hope maybe next time we come on, we can talk about self talk and
Yeah.
self talk. There's a statistic that before a person turns 18, they would have heard no, or you can't do this, or whatever the case may be in a negative form. They've heard it about 154,000 times. It's repetitive and repetitive and repetitive. So then what happens is when you go out and actually do something, try to do something, and you fail at it, you're going to go back to that program. Well, maybe they're right. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And you go through life like that. And that's so sad to go through life like that. I mean, and I'm saying it from experience. Once you open the door and crack and see the light, like,
Yeah.
there's so much that I can do, that I'm not gonna I don't know if I'll be able to do it all.
Yeah, no, my goodness. Well, thank you for sharing this. And I want to talk specifically now about the people you are helping. And I want to hear some of the stories of the people out there that you're basically, coaching and helping. I would love to hear some of those stories about how they're growing and changing.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, all this has been a journey,
Yeah.
and this is my coaching business. Now, what I do now, I'm in the process of building it. So I'm, um, how do you say it? Not looking for clients, but I'm
Yeah, you're openly exploring people to help. Yeah.
exactly, that's what I'm doing now. I also, I'm not sure if you know John Maxwell, um, and he's a leadership extraordinaire, if you will.
Okay. I've heard of him.
And I'm certified through him. So I do a lot of
Ah,
lunch and learns, actually, and I love the lunch and learns because I graduated culinary school as well.
wow.
I have a restaurant background, and
Okay.
so when I do my lunch and learns, I plan the lunch, and then I already know the content, so I invite people over. The last lunch and learn I had, um, let's see, I had grilled chicken. I had a creamy Parmesan sauce with it,
Ooh.
white rice,
Uh-huh.
vegetable medley of
Oh,
carrots,
wow.
asparagus, and red peppers, and a chocolate pie, and there's a salad and all that stuff. But I love bringing that food together because that's something I do. And so this was business leaders that came in, and we talked about leadership, and we were going over the book High Road Leadership,
Yeah.
and how to be a high road leader. There's three types: a low road, middle road, and a high road. Obviously, you want to strive to be a high road leader. But I'm planning another event in October, and this is when I will be asking for clients because starting in January, I will be pursuing my certification for it's an ICF, International Coaching Federation, and you have to have so many coaching hours. So, and these will be pro bono hours, So, say if I get 5 or 10 um, clients that I will coach very well, I know, and I'll get my hours, and then I get certified,
Yeah.
and then begin to just boom branch out and become that coach that I want to be. So, but in the moment right now, I'm providing information, talking with people, and actually, if we have time, I wanted to share. Um, if we get some callers in, give them a link to help them find purposes. I have a listing that they can have, helps them to find. There's 100 practical purposes that they can choose from,
Oh my.
and a something that can help them chart their life's purpose. But
Yeah.
just some freebies to help people.
Amazing. What is it?
So the first one, say like 100 practical purposes. I would like my purpose to be to make a difference in the world, or I would want my purpose to help people in need, or to master a skill, to explore new ways to solve problems. Just different types, and kind of looks like this. I don't know, can't see it, but I can give people
Yeah, I
the link.
could see. Sure. Go ahead. What is the link?
The link is www.meaningpurposebook.com.
Aw. One more time. Meaning, purpose.
meaningpurposebook.com. All one word, And they just go on that, and there's several tools that they can use to help them. And the next sheet is charting my life's purpose. And so and it kind of asks people to pick three, three purposes. Um, and then it'll ask you the primary purpose I chose to focus on my life is at this time is whatever. And on a scale of 1 to 10, the importance of this purpose is and then it just helps you um, start developing what your purpose is. So some people
Okay.
start 3. I'm not brag 11 to be to start working on. But anyway, yeah. So if anyone's interested in those, for sure, I would love to share that with you. And
Beautiful.
hopefully, and if I haven't uh, um, if I job self-esteem as well, because a lot of people don't feel good about
Yeah.
themselves, because of for whatever reason, and so that's how I like to help people as well. On my LinkedIn page, males, and it's not being or anything like that. It's just um, have a a responsibility, not for themselves, but eventually they'll have families, and they have a responsibility to be strong people.
Yeah. And
It's not to say that women are not strong, but it's a different strong. It's a different strong. But if a guy can understand who he is, and
yeah,
and if a person can understand who they are,
yeah,
then they can understand other people. You know, but
got
if
it.
you don't understand you, you're not going to be able to understand anybody else. And so, and a lot of the stress and anxiety is coming from, deep down inside you don't know who you are. And so anyway, um, that's
Well, I know you also have some quotes that you wanted to share with us. I
well,
can start it off. Go
there was
ahead.
there was one that I wanted to share, and I guess I'm gonna read it, and it says, "You are not alone. You have your dreams, your goals, and your determination to succeed. So make sure you constantly surround yourself with an undying faith, others who believe in you, and an unstoppable belief in yourself. Remember to stay committed to those micro actions. Each small step builds upon the last, leading you closer to your dreams and goals. Keep believing in yourself and surround yourself with those who uplift you." So,
Oh, wonderful. I love it. I love it. And again, who you were in the past and what you did should not dictate your future goals. I love that because you mentioned no one's ever born to fail. We're all created to succeed and drive and thrive. And, sometimes we make mistakes, right? And yeah, you're here to help us work through it because, gosh, I think we've all been there. And really, I know we're giving a short amount of time on this earth, and let's make the best of it. And I love that you're helping so many people and inspiring them with what you're doing, Mark Anthony.
well, thank you. Thank you so much.
And let's talk again. You mentioned this free download, these practical purposes. How long did it take for you to compile them? When did this all start when you started thinking about helping people like this? And I want to talk more about WAKSA today.
Okay. So, um, when you begin on a journey, uh, you begin to find books that are interesting to you. And that book, that meaning purpose book.com, that's actually a book. It's can I mention his name?
Sure.
His name is Shad Helmstetter. It's a PhD, and he's written several books. But this book here, I don't know if you can see it. It's Having Meaning, Having Purpose, and it's a really interesting book. And they have another book that I'm reading as well. It's called The Power of Neuroplasticity. How the brain changes and how we feed the brain. And if we feed it negativity all the time, then that's what it absorbs. But if we start to change it through self-talk, um, and positive thoughts and positive thinking, it will. The brain is always changing. I think you said it, in the past. People always thought that your brain, once you were born, it would grow to a certain size, and that was it. And you either gonna make it or you're not gonna make it. But that's not how it works. The brain is always evolving and changing. It's like plastic. It molds, and whatever we pour into it, it's what we're gonna get. Um, Case in point, sometimes I can get very animated when I'm watching the news. you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've gotten only I'm on LinkedIn. That's it.
Okay, I
Facebook,
saw that. Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Instagram, and all those others. I don't watch it anymore because I noticed it changed my attitude towards things. And um, I look at it just enough to find out what's going on,
Yeah.
but realizing that me being pissed off about it, I'm not going to be able to change it. No one,
No,
no one from DC is going to call me and ask me for my opinion. You know,
no.
I got to live my life so I can help other people change, and so, and that's it. But yeah, that's where I get a lot of my, along from John Maxwell books, this is where I get a lot of my insights and yeah,
Beautiful.
and music as well. There's a song called "Rise Today." I'm not sure if you're familiar with the band Alter Bridge.
No, no, I'm not.
Yeah, they sing a lot of songs that help me reflect on things,
Okay.
And but yeah, Alter Bridge, really, really, really cool band, really cool band.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are out of time. We must go. One more time, tell us the best form of contact that we can reach out to you.
Okay, well, my email, WUAKSA today @gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
My website is being finalized as we speak. So by the next time we talk, it'll be up and running. They can call me at 601-513-4677. And I'll be willing to speak with if someone has any questions for me, talk with them. If they have some questions about how should they do this or what am I will help guide people, if they want some more information on how to do certain things, I can provide free information.
Great.
I'm just I guess I'll call myself a wealth of information.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you today. Looking forward to speaking with you again. And thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Well, I enjoyed it. Thank you
All
so much.
right.
Have a good weekend. Be safe.
You too, sweetheart. Thank you again.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.